Okay, so here we are in Fairbanks today, Alaska, with two Italians and one super Alaskan here to introduce incredible partnership, and especially for me, former dog musher from Italy and Sudan, who knew Mr. Lance Mackey racing the Iditarod. It's an honor to be part of this partnership. When I met Lance in the races, he was always the most laid-back musher I ever seen. This was something that I really appreciated, because the others were rushing, he was just resting. Except the times that you were cruising, right? So when I came here and I met Lance in the summer, actually Della in the summer, with a musher student from Italy, and I knew that he didn't have a dog food company backing him up. I said I should talk with some gentleman here who is a real genius in this thing here, and this was Mr. Sergio Canello, the owner of FORZA10, FORZA10, like the sea storm, FORZA10, FORZA10 based in Italy, and I think he can go ahead and explain something now. So because when I talked to him, he said, "What is this?" Please, Sergio, go ahead.
Okay. I apologize for my English. I try to speak English. Sorry for my English. And I'm a veterinarian. I have been studying food intolerance and the pathologies linked to food, because they are very, very common. For example, dogs and cats and dogs, have a lot of problems as itching, especially in this area, in the neck or in this area, and they have every time or shaking ear, or dog ear infection, or conjunctivitis, or keratitis, or vomit on empty stomach. A lot of dogs have a problem about vomiting during the night, only liquid, not food, but liquid. This is very common, and the common is the presence of dandruff on the skin, or dermatitis, or diarrhea chronic, or very often problem of diarrhea. And we know that it's impossible to solve this problem, because the medicine doesn't solve anything, because if you don't take away the cause of the problem, you cannot solve with medicine. Antibiotic or anti-inflammatory cannot solve the problem. And what is the problem really? What is the cause of the problem? We discovered, and I personally discovered, that the problem is provoked by some residues of an antibiotic and a family of antibiotic, very common in the animal feeded in intensive farming, because the antibiotics are largely used to avoid, to stop the pathologies of chicken, turkey, pork, cow, and nobody discovered that the oxytetracycline family, it became toxic when they go in the bones of the animals, of the chicken, of the turkey, of the pork, and all that is based on the bone is toxic. For example, the traditional pet food is based on meat meal that contain about 30% of bone meal. In this way, all that contain meat meal deriving from intensive farming is intoxicated, and the dog and cats have a lot of problems. We discovered this. We discovered another important thing, that is the lack of omega-3 in all pet food, and also in our food, really. And it's very important to balance the ratio between omega-3 and omega-6. And a pet food must be balanced in omega-3 and omega-6. and avoiding using all that contain meat deriving from intensive farming. In my clinic, I discovered this, and I founded this company, FORZA10 USA in this case, and this our formula and are based on wild-caught sea fish, because wild-caught sea fish doesn't contain this antibiotic, and you can at the same time give to the dog a lot of omega-3 that are very important for health. And the other way is to use medicinal plants that can help the immune system to front all the pollutants that are everywhere, because all is polluted. Unfortunately, all the raw material are polluted, also for our humans, in humans. And then simply to balance the pet food, you can see that all the problems that I before spoke, they disappear spontaneously. But it's incredible that in a few days you can see that all our reference FORZA10 are able to stop and to allow to the body to come back in equilibrium. And I'm here because Ararad told to Lance what he just tried, and really, for example, the dog that must have very big power in there, they really come back in equilibrium. They are very full, powerful, and for sled dog this is very important, and this is very simple to verify.
Sergio, the thing that I really appreciated about trying the food in our international mashing schools in Italy, we are two mashing schools, one managed by me in the eastern part of the Alps on the border with Austria and Slovenia, and the other in the center of the Alps managed by my brother Armen, the first Italian dog team from Italy who ran the Iditarod in '84, right the year after your brother won it in '83. Rick Mackey won it. It was amazing for me to try the products of FORZA10 straight away from one day to the other, dry with water, and see the result in the stools the day after. I had to take pictures and to put them in Facebook, because I said, this is amazing. I cannot believe that a food that the dog never had before can have results, so incredible results to the eye and to the rest of it, right? So when I met Della, I explained to her, because see, the fish that this food is actually coming from comes from Iceland, and the reason why we are here discussing and making a great partnership with Lens is because we want to see if we can develop something like this in Alaska too, because the production of wild fish here is amazing. It's good, and it can be a terrific source of proteins. So it's 100% natural, no poisons in the food, and the results can see it. But now I think that Lance has a story to tell you about when he tried some of this food. Lance, please.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to thank Arad and Dr. Sergio for letting me become part of this team and testing out their product. And we haven't had a full shipment yet, but we had a small sample of the product, and was able to give it to a dog that is not a real aggressive eater. And as soon as we opened the bag in the kitchen, the smell that came out of the bag, I made the comment, I want to get the milk and start having some myself, because it was just amazing. The smell for myself, I can only imagine what the dogs are thinking. And Della was able to give this particular dog a handful and basically just ate it out of her hand immediately. again, repeatedly doing that several times, and you know, for this particular dog to be that interested in the product right away was a good sign that it's not only good quality, but you know, this is 100% organic dog food, and we all know the more you put into the dog, the more you're going to get out, and that's not the stool and all the stuff that's left over. They're getting a top quality ingredient, and you know, I think that this partnership is going to not only go a long ways, but I think it's going to show not only the sport, but the common household dog owner that you get what you pay for, and if you put in something good, you're going to get good out of it, and better results, and the dog will last longer and have more power, more energetic, and just look healthier. And you know, that's what we're ultimately trying to achieve. And I'm looking forward to being a part of this and the good things to come. And you know, we'll see exactly how the race pans out. But at the moment, it's the beginning of something amazing in this, not only the United States, but for Alaska as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Les. You know, this is the only European dog food admitted to be imported in the US. I mean, this is a great achievement that Dr. Sergio Canello could obtain, because it wasn't easy, believe me.
4 years to obtain. 4 years to obtain this.
4 years.
The officials from the USDA and all the other administrations who are, checking on the quality of food came to the plant in Italy. Personally, came to see how.
2 veterinarians came in Italy, in our plant, to check all.
So when Dr. Canello and his company began all this process of introducing the FORZA10 products in the US, it was a great effort. You know, it's like now while we are talking, your dog food is traveling on its way from New York City to Alaska. So this is also a great effort. We are doing it because we love you, Les. We think that you deserve, you and your dog especially have a special relation, and we appreciate it. And who doesn't understand this is missing something. Because no matter what happens, no one is a perfect person, none of us. Everybody who is watching us also, no one of us is perfect. We are all have all kinds of defects in our lives, okay? But when you look at the entire picture, you see that what is behind and the values in a person, they wouldn't fade anyway. I knew you in some non-suspectable times, having fun on the Yentna River. I did Road 2004, you and your brother Jason, just resting in the sun while the others were going crazy. And this was the way, and that paid you off, because what have you done after showed the world that you are an amazing champion, and whatever you will still do will always be a pleasure and an honor for us.
Well, and I thank you for that. You know, you have been a family friend and very accomplished in racing yourself, and you know, to be the one person that you picked to want to support of all the people you could have, it means a lot. It's we're going to do what we can to spread the word and the results, and again, looking forward to this relationship. And you know, I think that everybody knows the quality and the standard that the Italians have when it comes to food. It can't be any less than the dog food, and I feel the efforts you guys have put forward to bring that dog food to the United States and ultimately Alaska. You're putting your name out there, and your research and your time and money. That to me is saying a lot, and again, I'm just proud to be a part of it, and my crew. You know, we all look forward to the results and racing the season and supporting the FORZA10 logo. So again, thank you, and it's a real honor for you to be a part of the team, and to be sitting here with both of you guys today is a real treat. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I wish everybody who is watching this show here a very good life and Merry Christmas, of course. And there is Mr. Sergio who would like to say his last thankful from Italy. I mean, I was born and raised in the desert of Sahara, but when I came to do my first Idita ski cross-country race in '85, that was like being hooked up by like a salmon on the Yukon. I left a career as a medicine doctor to be involved in the dog mushers magic world with your father too, also in the races. So I wish you a very good life. And here Sergio will finish this presentation.
I will explain this very simple, and we don't make miracles, but if we use, we have a lot of research with 7 different universities, and our research are ready for everyone. Everyone can see this research in our website, and really, when we allow to the nature to work normally, and we give the dog and cats the clean food, the dog and cats come back in healthy state very soon. You can see that in a few days you can see the difference. It's amazing, but it's so. When you use FORZA10, you can see the results in a few days. This is our bet. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This partnership got going in July. I guess when they first came to you about using this new dog food, I guess what were your first initial thoughts about new dog coming from Italy of all places?
Yeah, right. Well, that was one of the things that was actually intriguing and sparked my interest. I figured if it was a company that far away who's successful in their country and making the efforts and spending their time and money to bring it to the United States and ultimately Alaska, I thought, this is something that I want to at least, I want to listen and see what they have to offer. Because there's a lot of dog food companies out there, and then some of them, they just want their logo on a person that might be able to make their company famous. And that's not what these two are about. It is for the love and the care and the health of the animals. And I think being the, that is as their priority, that's something I want to be a part of, because dogs are, my priority, and we only get out what we put in. So you put out in the best possible nutrition, you get the best results.
In addition to this new partnership, I guess how excited are you to get back on the trails and having a year off, maintenance and some downtime, if you will? I guess how much are you looking forward to getting back on the hit around against the largest person ever?
Yeah, well, the purse is a very attractive reason, but it's not about that part of it for me. It is about doing something I love to do, growing up in the sport, and getting out and showing the rest of the world what my dogs are capable of, and my training. Yeah, I've had several years of not real stellar performances. Last year, again, not being able to race. A lot of people think that I'm over my, my main drive and my lack of interest, maybe, and that's certainly not the case. I am not as involved as I have been in the past. I have a beautiful crew of people that I trust immensely to pick up some of that slack as I'm dealing with other issues and contracts and partnerships that are going to be the future of my kennel. But believe me, the people that think that I'm not out there to race this year, that think I'm washed up and whatnot, they'll be pleasantly surprised when I go by them.
Well, definitely. And how do you think this new partnership, with this new dog food is going to help Team Ninja? Is it?
Yeah, we've been referring to them as the Ninjas. We got a young group of 2-year-old black dogs that. I'm not going to predict the future here, but I have an idea they'll be famous soon. The FORZA10 partnership is something that is just going to bring more comfort and stability to the kennel, not worrying about the quality of dog food that's going into them. Without a doubt, this is a dog food that's as good or better than any out there with the ingredients, and you know, we just got to get them on the feeding program, and again, the results will speak for themselves. I'm not making, like I said, I'm not making any prediction, but I have a gut feeling this is going to be a long-term relationship that's going to be nothing but beneficial.
And Lance, if you could just comment on the state of dog management when you have partnerships like this and others. What does it say about the sport? Do you feel like it's growing and there's a bright future for the sport in the States?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do believe the sport is very, it's here for the long haul. It is being more popular throughout the world with the tracking devices that we use, the people and the love of dogs. It's a sport that most anybody can do. I feel again the sport is here for forever, and the partnerships, you know, for the state of Alaska, we're limited on the support from individual companies, especially dog food companies. There aren't maybe but one or two that are even made in the state of Alaska. We're a big state, but we're a very small community when it comes to corporate sponsorship and funding like FORZA10. This is something that don't come around very often. There's 70, 80 teams out there looking for this particular partnership right now. And there's a lot of those companies that aren't interested in their dog food being a part of a sport like the Iditarod or racing. And so with a person that's from the background of a racing history and a doctor that's passionate about animals and the care and the nutrition of them, I couldn't be sitting between two better people in the world at the moment. And again, it's an honor and a real privilege. And I thank you guys again. It's I'm excited and look forward to this.
Before you start,
Yeah.
ask you, I guess, you know, why Lance? I know you guys are close. Was he like the first guy that you guys thought of when you were thinking about partnering with the mushroom?
Okay. Well, there is a heart relation between me, my brother Arman, who was the first Italian Iditarod team in Alaska, and the family, the Mackey's family. Because, I mean, these are living legends. Maybe people here in Alaska don't have this sensation, this feeling, because they are used to it. But believe me, for people like us who come from far away, we know who is some person who is a valuable person. We started, actually, my brother and I, knowing very well his father, Dick Mackey, because with his father we called him actually to be the race marshal in one of the biggest Italian long-distance races we organized after the Alpiro. There was this Trans-Italian race, and we created a whole set of rules for the welfare of the dogs. The pooling rule, where you can choose how many dogs you might use between in one race day. You know, it has been invented by Dick Mackey, me, and my dear brother Arman. So there was this heart relation with this man, and when I got personally to know Rick in the races, even if it was distance, you know, because I always seen him as an icon or something, you know, and I appreciate very much his very positive attitude. When in 2008 we came from Italy, my brother and I, with an Italian TV crew, Rai 2, which is the second channel, nationwide channel, and the Yukon Quest Committee allowed us to go on the trail with 2 teams of 8 dogs given to us by my dearest friend Sebastian Schnuelle, who won the quest also one time, okay? And he gave us these 2 dogs, and he's been our really backup for this thing. And he was so much available for interviews. I think even he was winning the race, but and he was still there to share. Do you know what I mean? Sharing, which is something that not so many people have out there. I've seen so many egoistic people, very selfish people out there, very concentrated on their image or something. This guy was always concentrated in feeding the dogs, petting the dogs, covering the dogs, and still had the time to come around us and to share his passion, you know. And the thing that I was extremely impressed was at the arrival of the 2008 Yukon Quest. Well, of course, not mention the fact that he didn't even go hug his handlers, but he went directly to his dogs. But the dogs were fresh, like they've been traveling the corner behind the block, you know. So, these guys made 1,000 miles, and there they are wagging tails. He was giving treats, you know, like being in a checkpoint. And I said, this is another planet of dog mushing. I said, this is another way of doing things. People might believe he's doing crazy things out there, but I've been following the team, and I can guarantee that it was a great game, and I appreciated the game that he had. In fact, what we are doing together now is with our school here, with our international mushing school and the FORZA10 company, we will set up some kind of operation here in Alaska. We will work together. We will test things together with a happy face, without pretending anything, right? With the spirit that Dr. Canello has, with the spirit that Lance has, with the spirit we mushers, even if born and raised in Khartoum in Sudan on the Sahara, where the blue and white Nile meet together and then came in love and fell in love with Alaska, can have in our hearts. I told you before, it's a hard thing. More than business, the business will come. When the heart is there, the business will come.
You good?
Good, good.
He is.
Okay.
Okay.
You good?
Up here.
Again, I just want to thank everybody, Big Daddies, for having us today, and my handlers for putting up with all this and doing excessive amounts of work at times. Thank you for flying all the way across the world and being a part of this tonight, and all your amazing efforts going into fine dog food and the love of animals. It's a win-win combination, and I feel already I'm starting with an advantage. Now we need some snow. Let's race.
Let's go for it. Let's rock and roll.
Thank you.